2005, the City of Memphis and Memphis Housing Authority received a $40 million grant from HUD to transform our public housing here, but that was for the physical development.
In public housing, about 90% to 95% of our clientele are women, and most of them are single women, and they need supportive services.
Case management, which is really the human capital side of that, investing in the human capital part, was left up to our community. And so the Women's Foundation took on that role of raising the $7.3 million needed to provide this case management for over 700 families.
Changing a community's physical structure is one thing. Changing lives, now that gets us excited. And when you can bring the two together, we just feel like that there's a better opportunity to build the economic condition of our community.
Before, there were no services provided on site for residents, so they were really just on their own. Right now we have services pertaining to their education, pertaining to training, pertaining to support for their whole family.
My case manager helps me with everything, my job, my personal life.
The Community Supportive Services program takes a unique approach to making sure that the family holistically is taken care of, whether it's physical, mental, professional, all aspects of what the family would need to become economically self-sufficient.
This program has provided us with a new home, a new opportunity, a greater place to live, a new environment, and different experiences.
They have taught me to distinguish myself to be a leader, public speaking as well as community service, personal responsibilities, money management, time management, a lot of things.
From where we came from until now, we see a whole lot of improvement. You know, we get along better because the environment is better. The finances is better. I plan to go back to school next year. As my daughter gets ready for college, I also plan to go back myself. And hopefully in the future, I'll be able to purchase me a home, you know. But thanks to Memphis Hope, I got that opportunity to move up.
The women's funds are critical to this work, particularly around poverty reduction, because we bring a voice. We hear the stories, we see the change, and we carry the voice. We are a voice when women cannot speak for themselves. We are at the table in places that they could not be. And we are determined. We're determined to create change, and we're there for the long haul. Women's funds are essential to any community, but we feel that it's very essential to our community to create systemic change. We've learned several lessons in this process. I think the first and the most important is the importance of public-private partnerships. I think the challenge that we had to really look at this was big. And for us to be able to realize it, we had to really work beyond our normal business. We had to really go out in the community, build our case for support. The biggest challenge that we find is always not enough resources, and the expectation that the change need to happen sooner. And also the fact that success is defined differently every day for families, and that we need to recognize that.
You know, many of these families, this is multi-generational poverty, multi-generational living in public housing. And so it's a new kind of idea for a lot of the families to just, you know, say, hey, I want to get a job, I want to move out of public housing, and I can do that.
We have taken a proactive approach to meeting the needs of our families. Oftentimes when families live in poverty, they're always in crisis mode. It was more beneficial for us to think of those long-term towards self-sufficiency rather than the need for just one day.
One of the lessons that we've learned, I think that's very important around policy, is the fact that the barriers for success sometimes fall within policy.
And it has prompted us to create an advocacy platform to really address these needs. How can we really create systemic social change in our community that will move women out of poverty? We'd like to think that one day there wouldn't be a need for the Women's Foundation because we would have alleviated poverty in this community. That's a goal.